Today on Cal Poly's online Drupal 7 workshop, we're going to practice creating and editing basic pages. To do this, you're going to need to click on Add Content, which is visible in the top left here, as long as you're logged in to your Drupal website. This page will show you a list of all the different content types that you're allowed to create and add to your website. This list may vary depending on your user level, but everyone should have access to the basic page, which is what we're going to create right now. This is a brand new basic page with nothing entered into it yet. We're going to start off by titling the page. The title would normally be whatever you want the page to be called, which will depend on what type of page you're creating. But for practice purposes, I'm just going to use my name. Now this little editor right here is where you can edit the main body content of your page, just by typing. Now in this case, I want to start off with a header, and this little drop down right here has different heading styles that you can apply. I'm going to use an H2 and just call it Hello World, since it's a practice page. Now that I've hit return, I want to make sure that this is set to the normal paragraph format, although sometimes this happens automatically after you've entered a header. In this case, I want to add just a little bit of paragraph text for more practice purposes. So let's put in a sentence like, excellent, now we have some paragraph text on the page. The next thing we're going to practice on our Drupal page is adding an image. If you click on this little button right here, you'll get the dialog box necessary to insert an image into your page. If I click on Browse Server here, it will open the file browser for us. This will allow us to browse through all of the files, from images to documents, that have been uploaded to our website. You can see I already have the images folder selected, so there's tons of images already available on the website. In this case, however, I want to show you how you can upload a new image if yours hasn't already been added. The Upload button in the top left here will allow you to do that. Once you get this little dialog box open, click on Add Files, and then browse your computer for the file that you want to upload. In this case, I'm just going to use a screenshot that I have on my desktop from earlier. When I click on Upload, it'll add the image to the site. At the moment, we have a bug where this Upload button keeps spinning even after the file has already been uploaded. So I'm going to confirm that this has been added already by scrolling down and looking for the image I just added. It should be highlighted in blue. And there it is. Since I've been able to confirm that this was uploaded correctly and this spinning is just because of the bug, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now since this is already selected, I can double click it and it will add to the website. It automatically populates with width and height based on the size of the image, but you can adjust those if necessary to make the image smaller. You could also make it bigger, but I wouldn't advise that as it could cause pixelation and loss of quality. There's also a field here for alternative text. This is essentially used as a description for the image in the event that a user is unable to view it. This could be because the user is blind or otherwise visually impaired, or it could be because of some sort of browser error that prevents the image from loading for them. Either way, if for some reason somebody can't see your image, this is all they have to go off of. So it's important that you fill this out with a little bit of a description about what the image is so they know what they're missing. In this case, mine is just a test screenshot, so it doesn't require a whole lot of effort or thought to make some alternative text. But when you have images on your website, especially ones that are important, you want to put some thought into this and make sure that this is helpful information. When I click OK, the image will be added to the website. Now, let's try adding a link. We will go over 3 of the most commonly used link types here. You can link to another page on your own site, you can link to a file, such as a document, or you can have an external link that goes to a different website. To link to any of these things, you'll want to select the text that you're going to turn into a link, and then click on the Add Link button right here. The dialog box it opens up will allow you to configure the link. The default link type here is Drupal. This is intended for your internal links. These are really easy to set up because all you have to do is start typing in the title of the page that you want to link to, and Drupal will attempt to autocomplete for you. For example, if I type in home, Drupal automatically identifies my home page. I can click on this to verify that that is indeed the link that I intend to insert. And you'll know that Drupal has successfully added it when it inserts the node/number after the title of the page. If I click OK, it will insert that link, and you can see that the text has been formatted as a link. I can also double-click here to open that dialog box again, which I'm going to use in this case so that I can change the link type to URL and show you how to insert the other two types of commonly used links. If we click on Browse Server here, that will open up the file browser we used to insert an image earlier. It can be used in much the same fashion to insert a link. In this case, I have my Documents folder selected so that I can access my sample document. But you could click on Upload in the top left here if you wanted to add a document that wasn't already on your file server. I'm going to double-click on this to insert this document since we've already gone over how to upload a new one. And you can see that Drupal has automatically added the URL necessary to link this document. If I wanted to link to an external page, such as calpoly.edu, all I have to do is copy that URL and then paste it into this URL field. When I hit OK, the link will be saved. When you're all done editing your page, you'll want to save your work. The Save button is at the bottom of the page, but keep in mind, if you're about to save a page that was just freshly created, you'll need to select the Site section. For most sites, this site is the only option, and all you need to do is click that. But we'll talk more in later videos about what other kind of options can be here and what they're used for. Before you save your page, you'll also want to make sure you pay attention to the Publishing Options tab here at the bottom. Currently, this is set to Draft, and that's the default save state for all Drupal pages. Draft means that your changes, or your new page, if this is a freshly created page, won't be publicly visible. If you want your changes to be publicly visible, you need to change to Published. Drafts, however, can be really useful if you're working on a very large page or a very big update and you can't get it done in one sitting, because it gives you the chance to preserve partially finished work and come back to it at a later date. In this case, I want my page to be publicly visible, so I've set it to Published. One last thing to keep in mind is that we have a caching system set up for performance reasons, and any changes that you make to a web page on Drupal could take up to an hour to appear on the public view of your website, even if you set the moderation state to Published. I'll click Save, and the page has been created. That's going to be it for basic page creation and editing. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more information.